Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another edition of the Mavs Outsiders podcast. I'm one half of your host, Maurice Williams, aka Mind of Reese and Bibs 25 on Twitter. X if you're nasty. Mind of Reese everywhere else. Also Mind of Reese on YouTube. I put out a trailer reaction to Avengers Doomsday. Go look that up. Doing it as always, regardless of the title of the podcast. My co-host, Mr. Michael Bivens, aka Bibs at Bibs Corner on Twitter, BibsCorner.com for all of your Bibs Corner content, including the Brown Butter Popcorn Podcast. This is officially, obviously, we've put out an episode as the Mavs Outsiders before announcing, like, yeah, we back, but that was still a what's the game been missing episode. This is officially the first Mavs Outsiders podcast episode since February of 2025.
It feels
surreal. It feels crazy. And it's like the last time it's been like a month since we parted at least.
It's been more than that, I feel like.
Like it's been a while. I think that was the last episode we put out.
I'm looking at the feed now. Let me see. June 2nd.
Almost 2 months.
Yeah, June 2nd. It was Who You Got, Knicks versus Spurs.
Gee, but before the finals started. Crazy, man. Before the finals started. First of all, before we do the whole catch up thing, quick thoughts. How does it feel to be back? Especially for you, because like I've accepted that I was a fan again, and you've recently accepted, like, okay, I'm ready to come back.
Yeah, it's been interesting. I've been trying to get back into the swing of things. I still haven't watched any games. I told you I got a few. I think I got 5 Mavs games recorded from last season. I wanted to wait till we actually came back to watch those because I said I wanted to talk about them on the pod. So I'll probably try to watch one before we record next week. At least one, so I could talk about it. But yeah, it's been interesting just kind of trying to follow along with the free agency moves, getting invested in the draft felt interesting for the first time. We'll talk about that in a minute. But yeah, it feels good to be back as the Mavs Outsiders. Like it's been a long time. I wanted to. I don't know. I tried the whole find a new team thing. It didn't work out for me. I just couldn't really commit, and so it feels good to be back with the one that I fell in love with as a kid. So
Same. That feeling has been restored for me. Like last offseason, I was not interested in anything or any moves the Mavs were making. And this season, I was locked in. I was invested. I was on the lookout for the moves. I got excited when we made great moves. And I would say that I got upset when we made bad ones, but I don't think we've made a single bad move. So I haven't had to be upset, which we will get into. We will get into. On the life tip, it's been almost 2 months. Obviously, we don't have enough time to catch up on everything, but recently, how things been for you? We haven't even talked about movies, man. Like
yeah, I don't even remember the last movie we talked about.
I don't remember the last movie we talked about. Like, I don't even know if we talked about Obsession for sure. Did we
On the pod? I don't know.
I don't think we talked about Obsession on the pod.
The last time we talked about Is God Is and Passenger was the last time we talked.
Because I had seen Obsession, but I don't think you'd seen it.
Hold up. The End of the Boys and Obsession. So did you talk about Obsession? It's only 6 minutes on here that we talked about Obsession, so that must have been before I watched it.
Yeah, that must have been before you watched it.
Both watched the movie. Didn't know boy, and the topic of the week was the boys finale. Maybe we had watched it, but we didn't want to spoil it at the time.
I don't know.
I don't know. But we watched it. Me and my fiance watched it pretty early. Obsession. Okay. But we definitely haven't gotten into it that much. Yeah, we talked about Is God Is for 21 minutes on the next episode. So maybe it was that one that we both had watched but didn't want to spoil. I don't know. We haven't talked about Obsession much. Matter of fact, For the new pod that we're gonna do, I actually had some obsession stuff like saved
Okay.
for us to talk about. So do you want to continue to save that? I feel like it's not
Yeah, we can continue to say that.
yeah, there's not a bad time
I
for that.
know on May 22nd, okay, May 22nd, it was in a group chat with me, you, and Tyler, and you said, I haven't seen it yet. Might try this weekend.
Yeah, so we recorded on the 24th and 28th of May.
So you had to have seen it. I don't know.
So I think I did end up seeing it that weekend, but yeah,
You haven't talked about the Odyssey.
I
Like,
haven't seen it.
you haven't seen it? I've seen it 3 times.
God, dog.
Between Thursday when it came out and the Tuesday after, I've seen it 3 times in IMAX.
Okay.
It's my movie of the year.
Yeah, I was trying to get to the movies when we was at Disney, but it was a lot going on. I guess that kind of bleeds into what's been going on. So life has been crazy. I can't talk about everything that's going on at this time. Still some things that are left to be settled with legal authorities. But basically we needed a break, like from life, like just to get away. So this past week I had a speaking engagement in Orlando, and that's 2 days at a hotel there. So we got an Airbnb for a couple more days, and we did the Disney World thing. Um, Let me go ahead and say, when you buy the four parks, and you buy the four park pass, they give you a week to use them. So like when you go to buy the four park pass, they say pick a date range of 7 days, and I fully understand why they do that. My feet have never hurt as much as they hurt from walking around these parks. Like being out of shape don't even do it justice. Like I was falling apart, and then when I had to speak on stage for an hour and a half on Tuesday after walking through 3 parks already from Saturday, Sunday, Monday, plus a 6.5 hour drive. I could not feel my feet after I got off that stage. And then I went and walked another park. We had an amazing time, but my body paid the price. We had this big plan to lose some weight before we went down there and try to be in a better shape, the best shape that we could get into. Lost like 2 pounds before I went. Lost 2 pounds there too, apparently. And my fiance was like, I did all this walking and I ain't lose no weight. I was pissed. Now keep in mind we was eating good too. So I was like, the
Right.
way we was
Yeah.
eating, we lucky we didn't gain weight. The way we was eating. Um, but we had a good time. We went to Epcot, which is where I was most excited. I kind of planned out which day we wanted to do each thing. And Epcot has like the section that has like different countries and whatnot. And my stepdaughter's really into anime. I mentioned this. So when we got to the Japan section, she went crazy. Spent all her money. Everything was super kawaii and all that other good stuff. I'm just kidding. She didn't say all that. But they actually have a kawaii section that like breaks down the history of that type of artwork and whatnot. So she got before we even got to the place, like she was in there for a little minute taking pictures and stuff. She actually got really into the China section too, which I was a little bit surprised by. But overall, I think we had a really great time. Definitely would do it again. Um, Definitely want to make sure my feet are prepared for the beat down that they're going to take, and probably would get an extra day or two to allow us to rest on the days in between. Worst ride I got on. I want to say it was Mission Earth or Mission Space, but it's put you on a rocket. They had Gina Torres doing the narration or whatever. And like they put you on a rocket, they sit you in the thing, you pull the little thing down, and then the panel comes to your face. And then they hit you with the G force. Now, I may not have mentioned this before. I'm a little claustrophobic. I thought I was about to die in this machine. And keep in mind, this was like the first thing we did the last day that we got there. And I was like, that might have been the worst ride that we got on. And I was like, if I had known that that was about to happen to us, I would have never let us pick this ride. They were like, oh, it was crazy, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, no, it's stupid. I couldn't breathe. Like it tells you if you look to the left or right or down or up, you're gonna be disoriented. I don't remember doing those things, but I was disoriented like immediately. And like it like tilts you back and on the screen you see the sky, right? And then it like like you feel the force of it taking off and you see the sky getting closer and then you in space. And I was like, I need this to stop like right now. I'm throwing up.
My brain would have made me feel like I was actually in the air.
Exactly. I was like, hold
I
up.
played a VR game like that before at Dave and Buster's where you working with the Autobots and you gotta shoot Decepticons and shit, and like Optimus Prime is holding you, jumping from building to building, and my stomach was doing the thing where it's like the stomach is dropping like you in the air. I'm like, bro, get me off this bitch.
No, like, but I'll tell you, like, when they had us like blasting off, and then we had to do a slingshot around a planet or something. But like you know how they show your cheeks like flapping it, like that was happening to me. I don't know what the machine was actually doing, but like you feel the force, the pressure in your face when the thing. I was like, bro, they have taken this too far. And apparently there's two levels to this machine, and I chose the higher level because most of the rides was not that crazy. So I was like, this can't be that. Yes, it was that crazy. I would never do that again in my life. I would never sign up for that. Never sign up for that. Fun ride, Space Mountain is a hit. They got the Muppets Rock and Roller Coaster, Fire. The both of those are in the dark. Uh, both of them hate going backwards on rides.
Okay.
So there was a Thunder Mountain, I think, is the one. Like it goes up, and then up ahead of you, the track is broken. So it like goes up to where it's broken and stops. And then they show like a flash of the Yeti tearing up the tracks or whatever, and then you go backwards, and that's the one that got them. But the Muppets goes, it's in the dark completely, and it goes upside down and stuff. So that one, like not knowing what's about to happen to you, and then you just upside down.
Nah.
I was like, why would they name that after the Muppets? Like little
Yeah,
kids
like what
all
the
this.
fuck?
Now it used to be named after like a rock band. I don't know if it was Van Halen or one of them bands, but they renamed it the Muppets. And I was like, y'all gonna trick all these 4-year-olds into getting on this ride.
That's deliberate, bro. They know what they do.
These kids gonna be traumatized. Um, Tower of Terror, classic. I didn't prepare them for that one at all. It was amazing. Because like it goes up and then it drops you, and then it goes back up and drops you again. Like it just bounces back and forth. And at one point, my bag floated up in the air. I was like, "Oh snap! It's a wrap. I'm about to lose my bag." I had to grab it real quick. But good time. We got some pictures on the apps that I gotta get some of these printed out because every single ride, I'm laughing, I'm having a ball. Stepdaughter is covering her mouth, covering her eyes, like she's just having a having a time. Like everything was terrifying. You just hear the screams in the darkness and some of them good times, good
Good
times.
times is crazy. I haven't taken any trip. Well, I did take a trip to New York. Um,
Counts.
huh?
I said that counts.
Yeah, I took a trip to New York because numbers on the board were doing a live show
Okay.
after the draft. I was in Brooklyn, went for a night. The hotel I was at, the toilet was in the shower.
I'm sorry. What you mean,
The
like
toilet was in the shower.
so you can sit on the toilet and the shower will splash on you at the same time if you want it.
I went into this hotel, only got it for a night because I just needed somewhere to sleep. And it was right up the street from where the show was at, so I could walk straight down. Okay. So it's a small room.
I
I
was about to
walked
say,
and
I know
dropped my
that.
stuff off. I'm like, damn, where the toilet at? I got pissed. I looked to the right, shower's right there. I walk into the shower, not a big shower. Okay. Boom, right there is the toilet. Toilet's right here. Shower head is right here. Okay. I
Like
did
under
not
the
take a shower
shower,
then.
you would.
I did not take a shower that night.
How could you?
I got home. I got to the hotel from the show, took a nap, and left at 3, 4 in the morning.
Like I know these hotels are small, but that's a little
That's
crazy.
ridiculous. Why? Like, first of all, I don't even want to take a shower after I was just standing in the shower with my shoes on, taking a piss. Like, who thought of this, bro? Like, then I'm early in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, let me stop at the convenience store, grab some snacks and shit before I hit the road. White guy in a kilt smoking a cigarette, like, oh man, I love your outfit. What the fuck? What is out here? He with a group of other guys. So it's like maybe they was watching the World Cup or some shit, but it's 4 in the morning, bro.
Yeah.
It's 4 in the morning. So um before that, somebody broke into my car and stole my gun. That happened.
In New
Um,
York?
no, in Baltimore.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean,
He was like, "Oh, Baltimore, that makes sense."
there's a lot going on in New York, but at home, that, yeah. Yeah.
I am planning a trip to Chicago um to do the football fantasy draft with Pierre, Kenny, and them
Okay.
because we're in the league. I'm also planning a trip to New Orleans in October.
I think I'm
Um,
near Chicago in October.
huh,
I think I might be September or October. I think I'll be near Chicago. I don't know how close, but yeah.
figure that out. Um, went to the J. Cole concert on Thursday.
Okay. I
Fantastic experience.
think I saw a post about it.
If anybody loves J. Cole, if you like J. Cole and you are able to go, please go. Um, and I think I'm getting back into the hobby of collecting Yu-Gi-Oh cards. So a few weeks ago, not this Friday, but the Friday before that, recently, I was like, I just want to go out and buy a pack of Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I stopped playing the physical card game in middle school, which was like 20 years ago. I still play. There's a simulation game on Xbox called Yu-Gi-Oh Master Duel, where it's like it is the game, but you're playing it on a simulation.
Okay.
I prefer that. I don't want to go back to playing the physical card game, but it was just fun to open a pack again and get and feel the cards in my hand. Be like, oh man, what did I get? And I got two blue eyes, black white dragons. Like,
What?
yes.
That must be nothing now. That must be have nothing.
Here's the thing, though. I had opened this box. It was a Seto Kaiba box.
Okay.
And I was like, damn, I got two blue eyes. I said, it's probably because it was a Kaiba box. I watched the fucking video on YouTube of
Mhm.
this Yu-Gi-Oh channel I follow, and this dude opened three of those boxes, did not get a single blue eyes.
So you just got lucky.
I got two in one box.
That's what I was gonna say. Did you get more than one? Or you said it was in
Yeah,
one? That is interesting. I don't know.
I don't know. Um, I think I'm getting the itch again to get back into my YouTube. Um,
Okay.
I posted the video of me doing a reaction to the Doomsday trailer. I actually fucked up with Doomsday. Here's the thing. That trailer dropped at 9 a.m. I was at work. So I was like, all right, boom. I want to react to this on YouTube. I'm staying off social media. I don't want to see anything.
Okay.
So I didn't watch the trailer until 3 o'clock. Watch the trailer and I'm looking online. I happened to go on AMC for something. And it was like tickets for Doomsday. I'm like, huh? They allowing people to buy tickets for Doomsday already. The
Okay.
tickets went on sale when the trailer dropped. So me and my cousin always go to a specific theater because he's bougie when we go to the movies together to watch DC and Marvel movies.
Okay.
And I was like, yo, I think tickets is on sale. He always gets the tickets. I buy the snacks. That's the deal.
Okay.
We have to, I can't believe I'm saying this. We have to go see Avengers Doomsday on a Saturday, not opening night, because I didn't know tickets went on sale and Thursday and Friday are sold out. So between Thursday and Friday, I have to stay off of the internet
Yeah.
completely. Not even a question. Um, which sucks, but it is what it. I mean, it doesn't suck.
Get
I
a
stayed off longer.
Yahoo News alert about something that's gonna have a picture of what happened in the movie.
Like just the worst shit possible. I'm gonna get an email like such and such returns, and I'm like, why the fuck, man? I gotta turn my email off too.
That's how it goes usually. You go out of your way and something stupid spoils it.
But I have been doing the content like movie content and stuff on TikTok. Um, I am getting the itch again to do YouTube. Remember, I was doing the John Wick series, but I stopped because I recorded my reaction to John Wick Chapter 2, and it's
Didn't.
been very hard to edit it because of how I did it. And it's like, damn, do I just lose that and take the L and just move on to number three or what? So I'm still learning. It's trial and error. Sometimes you just record something and it's an L. You can't put it out, and you just gotta move on. I think I mentioned this before. I'm thinking of doing the Game of Thrones reactions on there.
Okay.
Um, but we'll see. We'll see.
Okay. You talked about that. It reminded me, and I thought I responded to your post, or I started to, but I forgot. The CVS that I go to has these combination Magic the Gathering and Marvel packs.
Mhm.
Like it merges the two worlds in some way, shape, or form. So I've been curious about those. So I might dibble or dabble.
It's so hard, man. I go to local card shops and I'm like, "Do y'all sell Yu-Gi-Oh cards?" And they're like, not really. They don't sell single cards. They'll sell like some random booster packs, or they just don't sell them at all." And it's just
Gotcha.
like, damn, what's I don't know, man.
CBS has had a lot. They have a whole dedicated like corner to like Pokemon cards and all that other good stuff.
Yeah,
So
Target does too. Target does. I think Walmart does. But like, even when I went to Target, couldn't find any Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Like,
interesting.
I don't know, man. GameStop has them. Like, shout out to GameStop. I walked into a GameStop. I thought they was probably like, "Oh my god, a customer." Like,
Times have changed.
times are changing. Shout out to PlayStation. Thanks for that.
No comment.
Um, huh?
Said no comment.
Yeah, no comment. Um, all right. Let's get into this Mav shit, man.
Okay.
Get into this Mav shit. The very first thing that we did not talk about this offseason was the signing of Masai Ujiri and Mike Schmitz. Um, Masai Ujiri hired as, wait a minute, general manager, correct?
Think so. I mean, hold up. Yeah,
Once the president of basketball operations, once the general manager. I always get the
I think
title.
Mike Schmitz is the general manager. If
I
I'm not.
think Mike Schmitz is the general manager. Masai is president. Let's see. Yes, president and alternative governor of the Dallas Mavericks.
Okay.
He is president and alternative governor of the Dallas Mavericks. He was signed first. Um, did I text you about that?
I feel like he did.
I think I did.
That was back on May. Well, they hired Mike Schmitz on May 8th, so Messiah was before that.
Okay. So Masai was before that. I feel like I texted you, but I'm not sure. Um, we did kind of talk about this.
I think we talked about it,
We
but
talked about Masai, but we didn't talk about at the time, we were just thinking it was just going to be Masai. Um, then we did talk a bit about Mike Schmitz because that happened May 8th. Our last recorded one was like June.
yeah, we talked a few times since then. So
Um, most of it's been briefly because we weren't a Mavs podcast. But now it's much easier to talk about because we've seen the moves that they've made since coming into the front office. I think most people were optimistic about Ujiri being hired based on his history, what he did with the Raptors. Um, Mike Schmitz had a good reputation around the league, especially as far as scouting goes. So people were optimistic about that. But once they started like laying down the plans and the framework of the offseason and started making moves, I think that's when everybody, including myself, started to buy in. Um, Starting with the hiring of Dusty May, former coach, University of Michigan, reigning NCAA champions. This we did not talk about.
right.
So when this news first drops, what were your thoughts?
I think we talked about the idea of who we wanted as a coach, and I said I wanted somebody newer, somebody that's an assistant, maybe from the G League. And I think I did say college potentially as like some fresh blood, somebody that's a college coach that hasn't been an NBA coach. So Dusty May specifically, not somebody that was on my radar, but definitely I can appreciate getting a college coach to come in and be part of this next era if we're talking about the Cooper Flag era. So I don't have any specific thoughts about Dusty May himself. I don't know that much about him, but I'm not mad that they hired a college coach to come up to the league. So some things that have happened since then, maybe I have some questions about, but we'll talk about that in a minute.
Um, I wasn't familiar with Dusty May much myself because I'm not a big college watcher. My thing that worried me the most was that I don't think there's really a great history of college coaches jumping straight to the NBA as a head coach. Now, maybe, some college coaches jump as assistants. It's not really like, I think the last one off the top of my head that really did a good job was Billy Dunn.
Okay.
There might be someone after him that I'm missing. Uh, but that made me nervous. I do trust Masai Ujiri, so I'm like, okay, maybe they see something. And this guy's coming off a championship, so like that's much different. And also the lane we're going, this is a young team. We're not trying to compete right away. You're trying to develop these young guys. And a college coach, not only a college coach, but one that just won a championship, might be suited for that.
Right.
And then I think
I was gonna say, and the NIL era is a factor there too.
I agree. I agree
Pretty
that
much
is a
a lot
fact.
of the league now.
Then the draft happened, and I think this might be one of the moves you were talking about. With number 9, we drafted Morez Johnson out of Michigan. Now, I went on record saying I'm not upset at the pick because I'm not familiar enough with Morez Johnson's game to be upset with it. But I do
Right.
like the optics of it because we 100% know we only drafted him because that's one of Dusty May's guys. Now, granted, there was 3 guys in that lottery range that could have been picked from Michigan. Dusty decided to pick Morez.
Okay.
Also, Morez was from the range of like 11 to 14. So it's like it wasn't a huge reach. I would have preferred Brayton Burries or a guard. I kind of chilled off of that considering we got a guard at the end of the first round who I liked, which we'll get into. Um, but what were your thoughts when we drafted Morez Johnson at number 9?
I won't go as far as to say I was pissed.
Yeah,
But the draft kind of fell in a way that had me excited up to our pick.
yeah,
Um, I think I had Burries as my number 4 guy coming in. Cameron Carr, I knew we wouldn't pick that high, but I had him up there. He was still available. I think Kingston Flemings had just gone right before our pick, so that one was gone. And so, really, it felt like the obvious pick, in my opinion, was Braden Burries. I thought he was a good complementary piece with Coop. I liked his upside. The idea of picking Morez was not on my radar at all. I had Morez as a late first round grade personally,
mm,
and I'm not the only one. I, I think he's a role player big. I don't think anything that we saw or would see from Summer League matters as far as what his role is in the NBA. I'm not gonna sit here and say he doesn't have any upside that he can't develop into something, but I see Cooper as a 3-4, and so now you get this guy that's a 4, maybe 5, and so there's overlap there, and I didn't want to have any overlap in like this is our opportunity. I don't see us as being ass forever, so this was our opportunity with a decent high lottery pick, high lottery, I don't know, up middle of the lottery pick to get him a running mate. And my opinion said guard has to be that guy. Now, if there wasn't a guy there that was good enough, then I can accept you getting a guy that looks like he's going to be a good role player for a long time. But because there was a guy there, I see it as a missed opportunity. And I know a lot of Mavs fans have been really defensive about this, and people been in my mentions already talking about, oh, you overhyping Braden Berries, oh, this is what you excited about, blah 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 blah. Again, I ain't looking at Summer League, but I have seen some of the stuff that he's done in Summer League, and that guy looks like he has potential to be a real player in his league. And I would have loved to see him beside Cooper, and then you could fill out the rest. Again, Morez definitely looks like he's going to be a player that's going to be around, but I don't like the idea of looking for a role player in the lottery. That's not what that's supposed to be. But best of luck to them in developing him. They got his coach. Maybe the coach saw something in him that I haven't seen yet. We'll see. I'm not, again, I don't hate him. I don't hate the pick. It just doesn't excite me. Like I wanted to be excited. So,
I agree. I agree with the not looking for a role player in the lottery. If you get one, especially a high level role player, that's cool. But yeah, I would have preferred Brayden Burns. I would have preferred a guard. I think there is a bit of a logjam in the front court. Obviously, I don't expect Gafford and Washington to be here long, so maybe that'll fix things. Um, and once we drafted him, I started doing some research on Morez Johnson. I like some of the things I see. I think he does have some upside, not huge upside, not like all-star level upside. Um, but I think he has the upside to be a high-level role player in the league. But he has to reach that. And when the draft happened, when the pick happened, I texted Pierre and I was like, "Damn, I wanted Braden Burns. Like, I don't know much about this guy." He was telling me, he's like, I like it for y'all because if he's gonna reach his potential under anybody, it's gonna be Dusty. And I'm like, I understand that. That's cool. Or maybe he just doesn't have that potential. We'll see.
yeah.
Um, I'm gonna get a kid a chance. The jury's still out. I still feel like I would have preferred Braden Burries. But later in the draft, with the 30th pick, we actually drafted Koa Pete, which at the time I was like, why are we drafting another forward? Like, what are we doing? And then I found out we traded for Sergio De La Rey.
Right.
Let me speak on the history of Sergio De La Rey. Coming into the draft, I wanted us to draft him at 30.
Okay.
You remember I said I was in this 2K league and I had like Luca and stuff, and Luca left, and I still had some players hooping. I had Sergio De La Rey on my team.
Okay.
And that's when I discovered him because I don't watch basketball overseas.
Okay.
So I'm like, who the fuck is this? This dude is been on my team right now. Like, so I looked him up. I'm like, damn, he kind of all right. Like 2K doing a bit much, but he kind of all right. He cool. So I was like, I think he would be a great fit as a guard on the team.
Okay.
Um, and when we got him, I was excited. I was like, okay, that kind of makes up for us not drafting a guard in the lottery because I think Sergio, I don't think he's going to be an all-star player, but I think he has the potential to also be a high-level role player on this team. And if you
Okay.
have a high-level role player who's a guard and he's like a true point guard, I think that's very important because true point guards are really hard to find in this era. And obviously, you can't always go off of summer league. Some guys have great summer leagues and are terrible players. Some guys have terrible summer leagues and become great players. But I like what I've seen from him. Uh, so I am excited about the Sergio pick. I think he may end up being the best player we picked in this draft. Did you even have any thoughts on the pick at all?
Yeah, so I did my little lazy scout, if you will, on most of these guys. And with Sergio, I did see he is a dime dropper, which we did see in summer league, and you need those guys, especially on the summer league team, because a lot of times guys are coming into summer league to try to get their game off. And so you need somebody to be a facilitator that's not going to necessarily look for their shot, and he definitely did that. Um, I think he's going to have a little bit of a learning curve when it comes to the passing. I expect a lot of turnovers if he's getting any real PT. One of the things I was worried about with him before the draft is that he's very skinny, but it looks like he's already started to bulk up a bit. He looked bigger in summer league than I saw when I was watching film of him from this past season. So that's already pretty good. Handle was another issue or another concern with him, that his handle isn't that tight. If you pressure him, probably cause some problems there as well. And not exactly a great athlete. And I feel like we've gotten into this era where Luca not being super athletic becomes, hey, guys can get away with not being athletic anymore. And that's not real life. Luca's special because he's big as hell and very shifty. And so you got to make up for that lack of athleticism somewhere. I'm not saying that this guy doesn't have it. I'm saying that that's not normal to be able to maneuver around the lack of athletic ability. So without the size, without the athletic ability, you're fighting against a lot of things. So I think there's going to be a learning curve here. I do see some potential there. The question is, one, how patient are they going to be with him as far as him developing his body, developing his handle, et cetera, and so forth. And then for him mentally, like how long is he able to be on the bench and not start to lose confidence? Because that's one of the problems a lot of, especially European players have is I'm the man overseas. I come over to America. I'm learning a new culture. I'm dealing with teammates that say words I've never heard before in my life. And now I'm also on the bench and the doubts start to creep in. And now when I get in, I'm trying to do too much. Like a lot of factors go into play there, which again, having a college coach, hopefully he's used to managing freshmen that are used to being a man and have a lot of mental stuff going on as far as their doubts. But that comes back to the what's the plan with this team because there's still a lot to be figured out. But I'll wait till we get to that portion of the pot.
Speaking of the log jam in the front court, um, we also after the draft, going into free agency with teams are making moves and trades, acquired a really good player, Santi Aldama
Okay.
from the Memphis Grizzlies. Um, it was like a 16 trade. Not going through all the fucking specifics, okay? But know that the Mavericks did have a trade exception. They did not use the trade exception in this trade. They got to keep the trade exception because they did a sign and trade with Chris Middleton, who's going back to the Wizards, a part of the 16 trade, and we acquired Santi Aldama. We also acquired Marcus Sasser in this trade, and we acquired the rights to Tariq. Okay,
Just call him Bibs.
Tariq Bibbs. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm not just calling them Bibbs. That's too confusing. Tariq Bibbs. Is this the okay? There's been this foreign player that the Mavs signed this offseason that everybody has been like, that's not him.
I don't think so. Well, say what you want to say first, actually.
I was just gonna say he's a forward as well.
He's a shooter.
Huh?
He's a shooter.
But he's still a forward.
Yeah.
Um,
A lot of forwards happening.
yeah. um, history on him. He spent the last 8 seasons playing professionally for Fern. He played the last 8 seasons professionally in Turkey. I'm not saying he shot 42% from the three beyond the arc. 25-year-old has won 4 Turkish Super League championships 2022, 2024, 25, and 26. 5 Turkish Cups. He also captured a EuroLeague title in 2025 and was named Turkish Cup Final MVP with the team in 2026. I'm pretty sure this is the guy people been talking
Yeah, he's from Fenerbahce. Like that's
about. Oh, that's how you say that. Okay.
or you could just say Fener as well.
Okay, Fenner. Yeah.
But yeah, he's a shooter. Kind of in the vein of like my boy from Miami. Is it Sasha? No, you know who I'm talking about. From Italy.
Not
Damn.
Fontecchio, right? Fontecchio.
Simone, yeah, Fontecchio. Simone.
Simone Fontecchio?
Yeah. So one of these guys, kind of like about the same size as Simone. So another one of these guys that gets buckets. And basically they have a built-in NBA role if you can get them right. Who was the other guy? Vezachenko. I can't think of the man's
I
name.
know what you're talking about. Yeah,
He was Sasha, whatever. He went to
yeah.
the Kings. It didn't work out. He went back to Europe. He dominated again in Europe. Another one of these guys that can get buckets. It just depends on how he's going to be used. And like you said, we've got 1,000 forwards on the team now. So yeah.
We also got Marcus Sasser from the Detroit Pistons. Um, guard showed some things, showed some flashes in the playoffs when he was called upon. Uh, Maybe some potential there. We'll see. Still young. Might be a microwave type of guy. Some nights he gets you nothing. Some nights he'll get you 15 points. We'll see. One that came out of nowhere. Speaking of forwards, like more forwards. Former number one overall pick Zachary Reese, as I called him to my friend Gifted, Zachary Richard Millie. Richard Millie.
Okay.
Yes, that's his new nickname, Richard Millie.
Okay.
Because that is actually how you pronounce the watch name. It's not Richard Millie. It's Richard Millie.
Okay.
Just, and I'm not rich. I can't fucking afford one. Um, we got him from Atlanta in a 3-team deal with that sent Lou Dort to Atlanta. We traded Ryan Nembhard. I guess they saw enough from Sergio to say, all right, bro, pack your bags.
I think the idea of little guys is gone. Brandon Williams gone. Nemhard gone. You too little.
The idea was gone before they got here, actually. It was just like, we suck, y'all worked out. But like, yeah. Um, we acquired Zachary Risache in a protected 2027 second round. A protected second round pick is nothing.
Whatever.
Um, when this happened, my boy Gifted called me. Now, when Gifted calls me, he called me earlier, so I'm had to call him back. I don't know what it was for. When he calls me, it's either he wants to ask me something about the Mavs, something happened, or he just want to chat. Feel me? Also got a text from my homeboy afterwards because Gifted called me while I was at work. I said, bro, I'm at work. I'll hit you back. I said, okay, bet. My homeboy texted me the notification he got for the trade. I said, oh, this is why Gifted called me. Okay. What are your thoughts? What were your thoughts when this happened?
I feel like there have been rumors about us trying to trade for him previously, so was not surprised when it came down. I don't know. I don't know if I've seen him play basketball in a while, like enough to have an opinion on his game. I can respect the move of trying to get a young guy that kind of probably is starting to have some of those mental failings that I mentioned, where you start to lose confidence in yourself or whatnot. Always a fan of a guy like that getting another opportunity with a change of scenery. So I appreciate that. But again, it comes back to that. What is this roster? What are we doing right now? Because, and I'm trying not to get ahead of myself, but we got a lot of guys that I would think you want to have PT for that I don't see PT for at this time.
Some
And
moves got to be coming.
I was gonna say he falls into that bucket, but yeah.
Um, I'm all in on a guy who was the number one pick 2 seasons ago. He shouldn't have been, but he was. And he was going to be in the top 3, top 5 anyway, I think. It's just that he was the number one because Alex Sarr didn't want to go to Atlanta.
Which is
Um,
crazy.
I'm all in on getting him for nothing and just taking a flyer on him and saying, hey, there's still some potential here. If it works out, it works out.
Right. Nothing to lose. Whatever.
Yeah, like worst case scenario, he doesn't work out. That's like if he turns into like a solid role player, that's a win.
Yeah.
Um, and if he reaches some kind of potential and turns into an all-star, Jesus Christ. I don't think that's gonna happen because to be honest, he looked like he sucks. But who knows? Under a different regime, under a different umbrella, things might look different. I still don't know what this roster construction is with all these forwards. Let's go. We got Santi Aldama. If we just talk about guys, like you said, these guys feel like they should be getting minutes. I don't
Right.
think you take a flyer on Zachary Reese to sit him on the bench. Santi Aldama, Cooper Flag, Daniel Gafford, Morez Johnson, Najee Marshall, Zachary Reese, PJ Washington. I didn't even count Derek Lively because we don't know when he's playing basketball again.
I say he not walking too well right now, so I'm not expecting a lot.
And they got Sergio on the team listed as a forward. I don't know why, but hey,
I don't think he's ready to handle like real point guard duties for real. So
yeah.
I
So
put
hey, let's throw him in there.
put him on the wing. Yeah.
It's tough, which makes me think there's some moves coming. We signed back Musa Cisse.
Yeah.
We signed back Musa Cisse,
You
which I'm happy
mentioned
about.
Babarovich,
Huh?
Bibs. You mentioned Bibs.
I don't expect him to really get.
Why not? He's 25. He ain't trying to sit on the bench either.
I don't expect him to be a rotation guy right out the.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah. Um, it's a lot of forwards, man. Which makes me think. I mean, obviously, we've been thinking like there's going to be some contenders out there for PJ, especially since LeBron signed with the Sixers. Probably a lot of contenders looking for a forward.
I think the Cavs just signed Mario Hazonia. The Miami Heat definitely gonna be looking for somebody. Mario been hooping overseas.
Man, get the fuck out of here with Mar. You said it like, man,
He as good as these dudes.
huh?
He's as good as these dudes that we talking about.
As good as what dudes? Rookies?
These all these random dudes that we got on the Mavericks roster right now.
Rookies. Mario Lasagna is good as niggas that have not played a single minute in the NBA,
He better than Zachary Reese.
who's barely played minutes in the NBA.
I'm just saying. The moves have begun to happen as far as people trying to fill out their forward depth.
Maybe we free up some space, and that's what the plan is. There's still a lot of time left.
I guess.
I'm just not sure what the plan is at this point.
No, it's I guess we can talk about it now.
Yeah,
The whole plan thing. I've been so when we first decided to come back around and I was looking at the roster and I was looking at all right, what is the plan for this team? Like, are we gonna go young and embrace the youth movement with Cooper Flag and the Cooper Flag era? Are we doing a two timeline situation since Kyrie is around and they seem married to the idea of keeping Kyrie? I doubt they want to treat him like this is a rebuild. So maybe they're trying to keep Gafford and PJ Washington to have this veteran group and then have the young dudes behind them have a two timeline situation going. But how do you do that? And right now, the roster is pretty much half and half. It's veterans and young dudes. Excuse me. But like now, like you said, they've kind of loaded up one particular area of the young dudes. And I'm kind of questioning, have they overdone it? And do they have a plan with like you said, guys like PJ Washington and Daniel Gafford who are in the way currently. Um Let me look at the if I go back to the roster real quick. Just want to pull it up. I had it up already, but Dallas Mavericks roster. If I'm looking at the lineups, so let's say starting lineup, Kyrie Irving. Like as of today, if we went into the season today, Kyrie Irving, I guess Clay.
I feel like Clay might come off the bench again. I don't know.
Who's starting two?
Yeah,
We got 16 players.
probably Clay then.
So let's say it. Kyrie, Clay, Coop, PJ Washington, Daniel Gafford. So then the bench, Santi Aldama, Reese Najee Marshall, Max Christie, Morez Johnson, Marcus Sasser,
Wait,
Serge.
will Max Christie start over Clay?
That's what I was. He's the one I missed. I didn't see him when I first went through. But let's say Max Christie starts.
Yeah.
So Kyrie, Max Christie, Cooper Flag, PJ Washington, Daniel Gafford start the lineup. Second unit, Klay Thompson, Santi Aldama, Reese, Najee Marshall, Morez Johnson. Then deep bench, we got Marcus Sasser, De La Rhea, Tarek Baberovich, um, Caleb Martin, Derek Lively if his leg decided to work again,
Got Musa Cisse.
Musa Cisse. How many of those dudes are unhappy in that situation?
I don't know if the young dudes will be unhappy because it's like it's your first year in the league.
I'm about to say Morez Johnson can chill on the bench for all I care, personally.
Huh?
Morez Johnson can chill on the bench for all I care.
He's the, he's the ninth pick. There's no way.
That's what I'm saying. That's what
You
is he.
would be even more pissed at the pick if he's chilling on the bench.
And I would be.
Yes.
I'm unhappy because we couldn't figure out who our shooting guard was, and it could have been Braden Berries. Like it's one thing to not draft Braden Berries and actually have a plan. We don't have a plan at that position. Klay Thompson and Max Christie is who we choosing from when we could have had this dude that's about to be averaging 15 plus points in Milwaukee. And then we got Morez Johnson buried on the bench behind multiple veterans. What are we doing? Like the it's one thing to draft a dude that is tied to this coach. It's another thing to draft him with no real, that I can tell so far, solidified plan for what his role is on the team. Because right now, I don't see where he fits.
I think
Nat,
once PJ moves, he might either become the backup four slash backup five or just start at the four. Unless they want to move Coop to starting four and
and that's not a position that's easy to just slot in.
it's not.
We want him out here chasing cats like that around.
Who? Coop?
Morez.
I mean,
Or you're gonna make Coop guard these dudes because Morez is not ready.
nah, I put Morez in there. I think defensively, Morez is ready, honestly. I think most of my issue comes on the offensive end. Most of my questioning comes on the offensive end. I don't question his defense.
I think some people have had this question about whether or not he can play the five for long stretches of time. And the fact that we even have to have that conversation annoys me as well.
I, I can see him at the five. He's more like a not because he's a better defensive player than this guy, but like a Montrezl Harrell at the five.
He has to get a lot stronger.
No, for sure.
Um, and especially now we're in an era where the center is coming back.
Yeah.
Like back when it was everybody was trying to go small, he might could have got away with it a little bit more, but now the center is coming back. He had to be ready to defend fours on the perimeter, and I'm not sure how that's going to look long term.
But again, I think he will be a backup center, not a starting center.
Like right now, I think he could give us 5-10 minutes if we got rid of Gafford and PJ at the five. Um, but again, if we have Braden Berries on this roster, I'm not questioning him being our starting shooting guard on day one. With Merez, I'm scared of him playing 30 minutes a game. That frightens me. And so that's where we come back to what was this pick and what is the plan. Now, again, we trade PJ, we trade Daniel Gafford, maybe we get a guard that's startable in that transaction. And then all this starts to look a little bit more ready. But at the same time, I don't know many guards out there that teams are trying to get rid of.
You don't think Max Christie is ready to start at shooting guard?
I don't remember enough about Max Christie. And keep in mind, I did not watch the Dallas Mavericks last year.
I think he's ready to start at shooting guard, but I think if we had Brayton Burries, he would definitely be the for sure start.
Do you think Braden Berries will be ahead of Max Christie?
Yeah,
No question.
for me.
Okay. And that's where it comes back to for me is that's a starting shooting guard in the NBA. That's a guy that can develop into a star at the guard position. And now we got a bunch of role players. So
I mean, it's a slow process. This Rome wasn't built in a day or whatever the fuck they say. Obviously, this team isn't going to develop in a year. I think they're playing the long game, which I'm cool with. They're not trying to rush it or anything. Just let these guys develop out. We just got to see how it works out. maybe they do have a plan and we just aren't aware of what the plan is
Exactly.
because the plan is not in place as far as how the roster looks.
And I don't want to be doom and gloom because they've already made additional moves since I said I don't know what the plan is. And so the idea that they aren't already still working on some stuff would be surprising. So I expect that they're working on some stuff. My thing is if we're keeping Kyrie and we're doing this two timelines thing, I need it to still make some sense. I know teams are trying to get Klay Thompson right now. What does that look like? I don't know. Are they still trying to get draft assets? Are they trying to get players? So that's where I think the disconnect is for me. I can't tell right now if I'm looking at that second timeline. What are the building blocks of that second timeline? Is it Sergio, Coop, Morez, Lively? Is that the baselines of that second wave, that next wave? And then how, because all those dudes are on different timelines. Coop is ready to be an all-star. Perez might be a year or two away from being whatever he's going to be. And then Sergio may be 3 or 4 years away from being whatever he's going to be. And so that's where, like, even if we're doing two time, are we doing three timelines at that point? So,
Understandable. I mean, it's a lot of things to look forward to,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
whether
yeah.
you're excited or you're just curious, see how things work out. Any more thoughts before we get about it?
I don't think so. I don't know. I'm gonna obviously be keeping an eye on what's going on out here in the league. Like you said, LeBron finally made his decision, so other stuff will start happening. I saw KCP, he got his buyout, right? He's supposed to go to the 76ers.
Yeah,
All right. So all the big dogs are going to start maneuvering. I think we'll get some calls on Clay and PJ, and we'll figure out if we're doing this two timeline thing or if Kyrie's going to be babysitting real soon. It's going to suck to watch guys like PJ and Daniel Gafford go. I think those are the last holdovers from what should have been our championship roster.
Kyrie as well.
Kyrie, I think, well, Kyrie's going to stay, I guess,
Yeah,
allegedly. And then Najee Marshall as well, I think. I know teams have been after him too. So those are the guys that are kind of the last holdovers from the previous era, and it's going to be interesting to see if we do get rid of them.
yeah.
Do you have
Either
any ideas?
way,
Do you have any ideas of where you would want those guys to go at all, or have you not thought about that?
let's see. As far as PJ Washington, before they got Tobias Harris, I think he would have been great in San Antonio.
Okay. Yeah, I had that
Um,
thought.
yeah.
Just
With the
I-
Nuggets losing Peyton Watson, um, maybe like a Najee Marshall or a PJ Washington there.
okay.
Not really sure what teams are in dire need of a backup center as far as Daniel Gafford goes. Um, yeah, I don't know about that, but
The Lakers? No,
they got Walker Kessler and who else?
somebody that can't jump. Who did they get? Somebody flat-footed. Hold on. Lakers. Who are their centers? Luca, Kessler, Nalaravia, Looney. They gotta keep out Looney.
Ah, Kevon Looney.
I don't know. I gotta dig into some of these other teams because I've been waiting for the LeBron stuff too to kind of figure out the league. I know Najee could be good in Miami, in my opinion.
I think they need more shooting.
He hasn't been shooting well.
I mean, I don't consider him like a shooter when I
More
first
of
think
a
about it.
Swiss Army knife type.
I don't know. That's tough.
Yeah, I haven't put a ton of thought into that either.
Yeah, I would have to look at like a lot of the teams in the league to know, like,
Yeah, Najee's been below 30% since he got to Dallas, so never
all
mind.
right, yeah, hell no.
He's been more. He figured out that he might be a point guard, but other than that,
Yeah. All right. That was the first episode back, man. It was really just to catch up. Um, Not sure what the next episode will be about because this is the quiet period. We picked a fine time to come back, but it is what it is. Um, Signing off for Reese and Bibs. We will holler at y'all next week. Peace.
Peace.